Okay, class, welcome to your final grammar video of the year. This will not be your last video, but yes, it is your final grammar video. I'm remembering, first of all, that you have a grammar test on all three sections or all three videos on Thursday, as well as the letter A and B starting words on the Quizlets. The intention of this video is to review the sentence structures and the idea of parallelism so that you understand the expectations of these because they are going to show up on the test, and especially with the parallelism to help you with the writing. Okay, so the first thing we're going to talk about is sentence structures. I want you, first of all, to write these down in your notes, like I always tell you to write them down on your notes, and then I want you to label them correctly. And what I mean by label them correctly is put, if they're simple, compound, compound complex, or complex. Go ahead and pause it. I'm going to give you a minute, and then I am going to give you the answers for these. So go ahead and pause it. Okay, so now that we're back, we're going to go through these. Looking at the first sentence, new materials meant that better artificial teeth could be made. Now remembering we're looking for independent and dependent clauses. Here we automatically see the that in there, and we know that that can be a conjunction. New materials meant that better artificial teeth could be made. New materials is a verb, or is a subject. Could be is a verb. So we know that we have at least those. But then we have this idea of what else is in here. Now, meant is also a verb, and artificial teeth could also be a subject. So the that here is our connecting conjunction. It's a subordinating conjunction. Okay, better artificial teeth, better and artificial described teeth. So it just talks about what type of teeth. So if you got that you have one independent and one dependent, you would know that this sentence is complex. Okay, second sentence, advertising that suggests we eat poorly may prompt this spending. Now this sentence might confuse you a little bit because the subject comes at the beginning of the sentence and then at the end of the sentence, and those go together. This phrase that suggests we eat poorly can be separated by commas, as in to keep you less confused, but advertising may prompt this spending is the independent clause. The that here shows is the connecting subordinating conjunction. Okay, so the idea that we eat would be the other one. So this one also is complex. Okay, the next one, Tom reads novels, however, Bill reads comics. We have Tom, we have reads, we have Bill, we have reads, and then we have a connecting conjunction. This one, because you also have the semicolon here, can act like a fan voice. So this would be a compound sentence. Okay? Tom reads novels. Bill reads comics because they are. So we have an independent because we have a fan voice here, and then we have a subordinating conjunction here. So this one makes it a compound complex. Okay, next one. We walked, knowing to the park is a prepositional phrase, and is our coordinating conjunction. We went home. So this one is compound. So you have complex, complex, compound, compound, complex, and compound. Okay? The next one, parallelism. So parallelism, remember, is the idea of using the same grammatical structure throughout the sentence. So everything is balanced. This fits in a lot with the polysyndeton and the asyndeton, with the idea of always having all conjunctions or not having any conjunctions. So those fit into this as well as making sure your and is correct. So this sentence, Dorinda could type quickly and be accurate too. This isn't parallel because the first half is not balanced with the second half. So we have to make sure that they're in the same structure. So since this one is an adverb, we need to make sure that the second one is also an adverb. So that's the grammatical structure. So being in the same part of speech work. So Dorinda could type quickly and accurately. Okay. Now I'm going to give you a couple more, and I want you in your notes to write these down like we did with the others. There are 4 of them. Yeah, 1, I'll number them, 2, 3, and 4. Now with these, fix any parallel issues. Like we did with the first example up there with Dorinda. I want you to pause, write the sentence, the full sentence down first, and then I want you to fix it. Okay? And I'm going to go over them with you in just a moment. But pause it, do the exercise, and then come back and we'll go over this. Okay, now that you're back. So what we're looking at here is the idea of the series. Is the series in parallel structure? The novel has fast-paced, believable characters and lifelike dialogue. Fast-paced, believable, lifelike. The idea here is that fast-paced, believable characters is one thing. They're both describing characters. Whereas here you only have one thing describing dialogue. So you either need to add a second one to go with dialogue, or you need to make this only one of them. Okay? Or you could put something else with fast-paced and have it not go with characters so that you have an adjective describing something. But here you have 2 adjectives describing a noun, whereas here you only have 1 adjective describing a noun. Okay, the second one, the ticket was for speeding and driving. Sorry, the ticket was for speeding and driving recklessly. So speeding and driving both have the same ending, so that this one is parallel. You don't need to change anything in this one. Okay, the next one, we must either raise revenues or it will be necessary to reduce expenses. The idea here is that we're raising revenues, and that is a verb followed by a noun. So it's the verb is telling us what we're doing to the noun. The or is the conjunction separating it. And then we have all this fluff. It will be necessary to. You don't need that. So it should be crossed out. So the sentence should actually read, we must either raise revenues or reduce expenses. Because this is also an adjective and a noun. Or sorry, a verb and a noun. So it goes verb, noun, verb, noun. You don't need all of this fluff here in the middle. Okay? And then the last sentence. My sister's promotion means that she will be moving to another state and take the children with her. Now this one, just in reading it, should stick out. The idea is that the verb will be moving doesn't match the verb take. So they're not parallel because they're not in the same grammatical tense, which is the same thing when we talked about the pronouns and antecedents aspect. Since they're not in the same tense, they have problems. Okay, so will be moving to another state and taking the children with her. So moving this to an ing ending is preferred. Okay, this is your last grammar video. We will do more exercises on Monday to go with these. You have a test on Thursday. Have a great weekend and see you on Monday.